It's time now for the Art Connection of East Texas. The Art Connection of East Texas is sponsored by Valorosa Designs and Galleries. They're located in Tyler's Berkfeld Center.
Good morning. This is Nita Fran Ward. I am one of the owners of Valorosa Designs and Gallery, a new art gallery in the Berkfield Center in Tyler. We opened in October, and we have been given the great privilege of having an art show that will be introducing artists from all over the East Texas area. On this program, it will air every Saturday morning from 8 to 9 o'clock. And my co-host for the show is Cindy Trimble. She is a local designer. And each time, each segment that we will be doing, we will be introducing and interviewing artists from all over around the East Texas. We'll interview musicians and performing artists, canvas artists, authors, playwrights, sculptors, anyone who reaches out there, and graphic designers are something that I really want to pull into because it's one of the newest art forms that's developed in the last few years. And with me this morning is Cindy Trimble, and I want to say good morning to you, Cindy. Hello.
Good morning, Nita Fran. So nice to be here with you.
Thank you. And good morning, Brian. Thank you for being here.
How are you this morning?
I am awesome. And you?
It's a beautiful day.
This is our maiden voyage, and so we're really excited about being here. I want to thank KTBB. I want to thank Paul Berry for all of the work that he has done. I want to thank Connie Schaefer for being so supportive of us and helping us get this going. And our Saturday morning producer, Chris Jones, thank you too for being so helpful to us in getting us started. If you want to call in this morning to ask any questions and interested in what we are doing, the number to call, the phone number, is 903-593-5822, and we are on 97.5 FM. If you want to listen on your computer, just go to ktbb.com, and you can listen to us that way also. So, Cindy, let's talk to you a few minutes, and I want to, for you to tell the audience why you were chosen to be a co-host with me, because you have some vast experiences in the art world, in a very different kind of art world, but also you have done some very interesting things in your life all over the world.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Nita. It's a pleasure to be here. I grew up in my father's stained glass studio. My earliest memories were with him exploring the realms of art. And from that, really dove into the world of cosmetics, and that's where I found my artistic expression. Writing is another passion that I have in that form. I spent 10 years in Los Angeles in the world of luxury cosmetics, working specifically there at Neiman's, Beverly Hills, and then also doing freelance cosmetics as well.
And you modeled.
I modeled and had a great career with that, starting at Sanger Harris and Dillard's here in Tyler way back in the day. So from that, I transferred into the world of luxury watches and jewelry and had a wonderful experience traveling internationally and regionally and just exploring so much of the world. And after many years of travel all around the world, have decided to come back to Tyler, Texas, to our family land, where we've had family land here for over 100 years.
I want you to talk about the Dean community, because that was a very interesting thing when you and I first met. Me being from East Texas also, and being from east of Tyler, and you being from west of Tyler.
Well, we meet here in the middle. It's KTBB
yes,
today,
did.
right? Well, it's been very interesting. I grew up in a historic home here in East Texas, built by Major Dean from the Civil War. It was built in 1897 and one of the first brick homes in East Texas. In the Dean community, there is a lovely little church and a great cemetery. We have family that's buried there for 5 generations there in the Dean community. There's a historic home that still stands today, and sadly we lost ours to a fire in 1986, a ceiling fire. And, you know, that kind of pushed me on out to explore the world at an early age.
And you talk about your dad some, and he is still a glass artist in the Dallas area.
Oh, a master artisan he
is.
Yes. He's done some a really prolific piece that's just so incredible at the Hare Krishna temple there. It's a 9-foot by 3-foot sculpted dome surrounded by 2 3-foot domes. Really the masterpiece of his career to date.
and he does these in the mosaic way, and you say they're really, really large.
Yes, ma'am. And really, if you look at the Tiffany lampshades, it's that sculpting that's really hard in that glass form.
Because it has to be bent a certain angle.
Correct. It's all the mathematics.
Yes.
I liked cosmetics. It was adding and subtracting color. That was a little easier for me.
So now you work here in Tyler as an interior designer. So you have transferred all of that knowledge you have about applying the elements and principles of design into using a room as your palette.
Yes, my horizons have expanded, which is always fun. I love to learn and grow. And in the mixing of patterns and prints, and really it's all about the detail. And that's where in cosmetics or watches or anything that you're doing in art, the devil's in the detail, really.
Yes. I want to talk a little bit about our theme song that we chose, because there's a specific reason that we chose this particular theme song for our program, and as the program progresses today, you will hear this song more and more. But I want to thank Amy Fish, because she was at a meeting that we had for the Burkeville Association. I met her there. She represents a young woman called Erin Kinsey, a very young woman. She's actually a young girl. I think she's 14 or 15, and she is from Rockwall. And Amy was saying that she writes a lot of her own music. She is just becoming quite the star. And so I listened to her CD. The first song that played was Ain't Gonna Settle for Anything Less, Nothing But the Best. And I thought, that's my kind of girl. That's my kind of theme. And I really liked the beat, so I thought that would be good for us to have.
I think it embodies our spirit as well. You too have just returned to Tyler after a long voyage away, and it's just ain't settling.
Yes,
ain't gonna happen.
Ain't gonna settle for anything less. The best of East Texas.
Yes.
And Amy Fish was telling us that Erin is going to be traveling to a large event.
Yes, it's very exciting that she's going to be in London for her star debut, and immediately after returning for the Bergfeld Center, her Spring Fling on April the 7th. It's going to be a great event, and I guess we'll talk a little bit more about that.
Yes, we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And I also want to tell everyone that we have started a new organization called ACET, and our program is called ACET, Art Connection of East Texas. That's what the program is going to be called. And we are a network. Our website will be, our email address and our address will be assetnetwork.net. And that's how you can email us, and that's how our website will be set up. And you can reach me if you want to email at NitaFran@ValarosaDesigns.com. And my name is NEITAFRAN at ValarosaDesigns.com. I know we're throwing a lot of information out there at you, but we wanted to introduce the program in its fullest as much as we can, and then we will go back through some of it as the time progresses. And Brian, in a few minutes after the break, we're going to really begin to talk about you and your art.
Yeah.
But talk a little bit about what you have a vision for with our ACET network, which is the network for artists.
Well, I think getting the community together, having artists that are local, being able to show their work, get in touch with people that know what to do, and I think most of the time people have a hard time getting their work out there, especially new artists. It's always a challenge to break into
and to know who to go to.
Yeah, and who to go to, and what's the methods to get there. And I think more than anything, ACET will be that kind of network that'll get artists together and people that support the arts. And I think it'll be a positive thing for the East Texas market for sure.
And we want to reach out to the Longview area, the Palestine area, all the way to Nacogdoches, Chandler, Athens, up to Mineola. So we really, really intend to try to be a help and to be an asset. That's why we chose the acronym, to the artist as time progresses here.
Sure, and we can stumble over to the Dallas County line or Shreveport or just about anywhere. a lot of people.
With the internet and social media, there is no limit to it, is there?
Well, one thing I have noticed, Tyler and the East Texas area gets a lot of Dallas transplants. People come
Yes.
out, we came from Dallas, so Dallas is an entry port, but more Dallas people.
All right, we're going to take a break, and Brian will visit with you about your art because you have a very interesting story.
Sure.
News, talk, weather. Set a new button for 97.5 FM, KTBB.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Tyler, Longview? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Tyler, Longview area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Tyler, Longview is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, call 1-800-359-5052. Seating is extremely limited. Call in the next 10 minutes and you'll also reserve a free copy of Than's Money for Deals Guide. That's 1-800-359-5052. That's 1-800-359-5052.
As a family-owned business, the Bergfeld Insurance Agency values treasured heirlooms. The agency has been passed down through generations, so they understand the importance of ensuring family history. Trust the Bergfeld Agency to insure your collectible art and precious jewels. Homeowner policies may not cover your collection, so call today for a free quote. They're an independent agency offering customized policies from multiple carriers for home, auto, RV, and business. BergfeldAgency.com.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't renew your auto and homeowner's insurance until you call me. Jim Tolman Insurance, 509-1300. At Jim Tolman Insurance, we'll go to work for you. And we shop companies you know and trust, like Safeco. We're on the loop behind Chuck E. Cheese. And on the web, JimTolmanInsurance.com. You do have a choice. Jim Tolman Insurance, 509-1300. Where saving you money is our #1 goal.
An independent insurance agent like Jim Toman offers many companies like Safeco, Travelers, Hartford, and Progressive to shop for the best available rate and save you money all the time. And also talk to Jim about life insurance. It's the most important policy you'll ever purchase. Remember, life insurance isn't for you, it's for the ones you leave behind. Call 903-509-1300. That's 509-1300. Jim's office is on the South Loop in Tyler behind Chuck E. Cheese and on the web at JimTolmanInsurance.com. Jim Tolman Insurance.
Lost your keys? Locked out of your car, home, or business? It's frustrating and can be dangerous at the wrong time of day or night. Call Locksmith Express. Call 7 days a week. Residential, business, auto, theft, lost keys, rekey. 903-312-0006. Response time is 30 minutes in most cases. 903-312-0006. Key replacement, lockouts, remote replacements on most cars, home and business rekeys, and keys made from most VIN numbers and high-security auto keys. Locksmith Express. And if you're buying or building a home, call Locksmith Express to rekey and make sure you know who has the keys to your new home. 903-312-0006. Get more information at locksmithexpress.biz. That's locksmithexpress.biz. 903-312-0006. 903-312-0006. License number B12284. Locksmith Express.
Hi, John Sims, inviting you to join me each Sunday morning on KTBB for In Focus. You'll hear from representatives in various sectors of community service, all of them staying busy trying to make the Tyler, Longview, East Texas area a better place for everybody. This week, we'll sit down with Robin Frua of Longview Community Ministries for a chat about her organization's various efforts on behalf of the Longview area's needy residents. That's In Focus, Sunday mornings at 9:30 right here on your only local news radio, 97.5 FM, KTBB, and KTBB.com.
News, weather, anytime, anywhere at KTBB.com. KTBB.com. Hosted by Group M7.
All right, we are back, and I want to talk to BrianStone this morning. Brian, before we get back on that, I want to go back to the ACET network for the artist, because one of the things I want to tell them, any of the artists who join our network and those artists who show in our gallery, Valarosa Designs and Gallery in the Burkeville Center, they will be the artists who we will pull from for the interviews. And
Correct.
Those will be the first ones. And then I will always, Cindy and I and you will always be out there looking for an artist with a really interesting story. Because if there's anything I've found out with my 7 years doing this on a New Mexico radio station, everybody has a story. And how artists find themselves and how they move into their ability and follow their dream and follow their heart to go into their art is always very fascinating. And people like to hear about people's stories. So that's where we are with you, Brian. Let's tell about, the first thing I want you to tell about is the story about your neighbor.
Yes.
Because that is
Bless
a
her
really
heart.
good story.
Yeah. Actually, that's what kick-started me back into stretching canvas and putting some paint on it. My little neighbor across the street was an art. She liked art. So she had commissioned a picture of her bird, which was a cockatoo. And she got it back and called me over and said, you have to come see this beautiful painting. So I did. I went over there and I was admiring this piece of art. And the funny thing was I was being gentle. It was didn't look like Junebug, and it was in a kind of a setting that she was just floating in air on some pearls, a string of pearls. So in my mind, I was sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, what can I do for her that would be much better? So I did. I kind of went back home and decided to buy some stuff and material to get a canvas stretch and do a new Junebug. So I did. I painted Junebug in a more natural setting with kind of a jungle around it and sitting on a branch, and ended up giving it to her. I don't remember whether it was a birthday or just a gift in general, but she fell in love with it, framed it, and I have not seen the Junebug that's sitting on pearls, so
You're thinking she liked yours.
I think and Junebug turned out really good because she was kind of that white with a little tangerine color around her feathers, and she looked great on this darker background with the jungle leaves and the setting. So that was probably about 6 years ago, maybe 7, but kind of kick-started me back into getting the art thing going again, and so far so good, and got me really started in the Tyler, East Texas market.
Well, in Valarosa Designs, we have, I think, 4 of your pieces, and I tell people when they come in to look at the art, I'll say, I want you to notice this artist. Can you tell me, from this painting, are there any other artists, any other works in the gallery that you can see? And many times, especially canvas art that put paint on a canvas, you begin to look at their technique. You can tell exactly what artists they are, and that's not true of Brian. And I will say, this is his work, and they understand immediately. I remember a young woman from Palestine brought up her art class, and Deanna, and brought her art class in, and we talked about that so much because they had even, as she had taught them, they had even become aware that you begin to see an artist has a technique, and you will notice that in many of their pieces. But even they were impressed with the fact that how different each of your pieces are. You are a very diverse artist. I asked you the question, how long have you been an artist? And you said, all my life.
All my life.
And
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about the first time that you realized that you had the ability, there was something within you that from your brain to your hand that you could look at something and make it.
Well, it started early on with my mom. Hello, Mom, out there. I was brought up in a family of artists. My mom and dad both met in art school in Chicago. So it was an automatic thing that I ended up getting some of their genes that had the art part in it.
There are art genes, you know that.
Yeah, and she basically, and they gave me pencil and paper and things, and my dad had his studio at home for many years early on. And I would definitely sneak in the studio and get paper and pencils and things, and was always drawing. So in my career, basically started in grade school. I was always sitting there, maybe not paying attention to the teacher, but I was doodling or drawing pictures. And one of my very first, what I remember, was they came out with a Boeing 707, which was a jet aircraft with 4 engines, and I nailed that thing. I was working on that plane for I don't know how many years. I perfected the Boeing 707. And so that, and most of my kids that I was with in grade school wanted me to do one for them, so that kind of kick-started it.
And you became the artist in the room.
I was the artist in the
room. And you used pencils, and then you graduated to what? What did you move into next?
Well, in the ninth grade public school, I was introduced to an art teacher. Her name was Miss Sharp, and she was probably the most inspirational teacher that I bring it up a lot, even on Facebook. She was the one, and as a matter of fact, that was the first A I ever made in all my grades. But she was the one that encouraged me to do more and got me into kind of the oil painting side of things. And actually, she was out of her pocket, bought a frame for one of my paintings that ended up being the first place winner at the Dallas Museum of Art in the 9th grade. So,
and you were in school where?
I was at Robert T. Hill, which is in Dallas.
In Dallas.
In Dallas. And so...
You were really blessed to have an art teacher that recognized your talent.
Definitely, yeah. My parents first, and then my art teachers, and then I went on to do more as each, and then on into adult life. But I never did get away from. I had my little setup at my house, usually in the corner in the living room, but I was always painting, had an easel up somewhere and doing something.
And you say that you have, your art forms are a mixture of abstract to impressionistic realism. And, of course, seeing your art and having your art around me every day, my very favorite is that neon Marilyn Monroe.
Yes.
4 feet by 4 feet. And I'll tell you, if I didn't have a Southwest Western house, she would be in my house.
She's very popular. She's beautiful.
I love her.
She took on a life of her own.
She did. I mean, electric. That's the word, I think. Of course, it's electric neon. But she was an electric icon in person and now as an icon. And she, I know.
It makes me think of when I moved to Hollywood, California, lived on Electric Avenue. I think that's what happens to you when you move to California.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Well, she took on a life of her own, and she basically, I think, was about a year ago, maybe a little more, when I painted her. But it's just her face coming right at you, and using fluorescent colors. At the time, I hadn't explored that, and I said, "This is it. I'm going to make Marilyn green, yellow, and orange."
Oh, and she is, and she's beautiful.
Green, yellow, and orange.
But she could have been on a street corner with a neon sign flashing on her face.
Yeah.
And it would have reflected like that.
Yes.
And so it really is great. I also am reading here that you went to TJC and studied art.
I did.
As a young man.
Studied art when I got out of the service in 1972. I went to kind of go back to get a degree, and I thought, well, I'll do something, that's traditional. And then I got to thinking, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go do art. So that's what I did. I started with drawing and painting classes, plus the traditional core classes.
Sure, sure.
And had great teaching there at TJC, and we were always in our class. We'd have to produce a drawing or a painting in that 4-hour class, which made me kind of do things a little faster.
Sure. We need to take a break here. I noticed that our young man in there, Chris, is giving me a smile. So go ahead, Chris.
All over East Texas, all in one place in the FM dial. Set a new button for 97.5 FM, KTBB.
A very special event is coming up at the Cascades Country Club in Tyler. The 10th annual Kyle Lake Memorial Golf Tournament is Monday, May 2nd, honoring the memory of Tyler native Kyle Lake. The former pastor of University Baptist Church in Waco, Kyle died in a tragic accident in 2005, but his Christ-centered life continues to impact many others. He was the author of 2 books, Understanding God's Will and Understanding Prayer. The Kyle Lake Foundation includes hundreds of volunteers and donors who work to honor what he stood for. The Kyle Lake Foundation supports many worthwhile projects, including the KTBB Scholastic All-Stars, Christian Ministries, education institutions, soccer camps, and defibrillators. The golf tournament is a 4-person best ball scramble and includes many great prizes, raffle items, and a silent auction. But space is limited to just 30 teams. Call 903-561-5050 and on the web at kylelake.org. That's the Kyle Lake Memorial Golf Tournament, Monday, May 2nd at the Cascades Country Club in Tyler.
We're about trying to improve the quality of life that people have.
Dr. Kyle Smith of Cardiovascular Associates of East Texas.
We're able to treat blockages now less invasively, like with stents. We weren't able to do before. You know, with every field in the world, really, the technology has come a long ways, and in medicine, definitely so.
The range of treatment options at Cardiovascular Associates is on a par with any heart and vascular clinic in the world.
We get visiting doctors to come in. We repeatedly get told, you know, people, whether it's the physician or like a representative for like a device company or a drug company, that'll come in and just tell us that they've never seen a facility like this.
The very latest technology, world-class physicians, a focus on patients as individuals. Cardiovascular Associates of East Texas, a network of cardiovascular expertise all over East Texas, anchored by a state-of-the-art facility in Tyler. Online at caet.net. Cardiovascular Associates of East Texas.
No, you have not missed your chance to join us on the KTBB World Tour 7 excursion to Scotland, but you're getting darn close. Hi, Paul Gleiser here. We depart DFW for Edinburgh on August 31st, and I promise you that you will love what happens when we get there. Scotland is simply stunning. The scenery, the history, and most of all, the people. My wife and I have been, and we can't wait to get back. The package includes very nearly everything: air, transfers, first-class hotels, breakfast every morning and 3 included dinners, luxury motor coach, and the services every day of my friend and Trafalgar Tour Director, Vicki Townsley. Plus, when you come with us, you become a member of a really cool fraternity. KTBB World Tour travelers are an elite, really fun group. But if you're thinking about it, you got to stop thinking and act. We have room for just 2 more couples, and when those places are gone, that's it. We will not be able to get any more. So go to ktbb.com/world tour to get the complete itinerary and booking information. ktbb.com/world tour. Hope you'll join us in Scotland.
We're right there on your clock radio first thing in the morning and in your dashboard as you dash around all day. We're KTBB. Download our app and listen on your smartphone or iPad. Thanks to Tyler Ford, it's free for iPhone and Android. Just search KTBB in the App Store. KTBB is your only local news radio, and we're working for you even when you're not near a radio. Your only local news radio. 97.5 FM, KTBB, and KTBB.com.
Hi, this is Joe at Stonebridge Heating and Air. We get so many people asking us about the ductless mini splits. For the room additions, commercial conference rooms that are always too warm when you add 20 people. We rep Carrier, Lennox, Toshiba, Fujitsu, and Mitsubishi. As a diamond dealer for Mitsubishi, that increases your warranty to 12 years because of the extra training our company has gone through. Ducted mini splits are also very popular because we can run extra ducts to those restrooms or closets in that bonus room or home theater. Stonebridge Heating and Air, license 22357C, 565-5414.
Glenn Beck, weekdays at 8. Set a new button for 97.5 FM, KTBB.
Hi, Anita Friend Ward with Valorosa Designs and Gallery, and I want to do a shout out to my business partner, Kim Cobb. She and I opened Valorosa Designs and Gallery back in October, and we were really pleased to be in the Burkeville Center. My guest this morning is BrianStone. He is an artist that actually shows with Valorosa Designs and Gallery, and we met Brian back in the summer, and really enjoyed having the opportunity to get to know him, and we really enjoy living around his art. And I also have with us this morning the co-host of the show, Cindy Trimble. Thank you for being here. those of you who have joined us, if you want to make a note, you can call in live at 903-593-5822 if you have questions for Brian Stone. And we will be here every Saturday morning from 8 to 9, and we'll be talking art, and we'll be inviting different artists from all over East Texas, from all different kinds of art. Whether you're a performing artist or an author or a graphic artist, we will be inviting different artists to come in. We're also going to be doing a network for artists called ACET, Art Connection of East Texas, and it will be a network for the artists so that we can all get together and get to know each other. And from that list of people, I will be pulling a lot of our interviewees. Okay, we're going to go back to you, Brian. And one of the things that serious artists always do that I have noticed, they go back to some of the old masters. And I know a young artist out in New Mexico that actually self-taught himself. And that's how he taught himself, is he would get a small photo of an old masterpiece and put it up in front of him, and he just practiced and he practiced and he practiced his technique. So, Brian, tell us who the artists were across time that have influenced you.
First one was Picasso. I went to an exhibit in 1967 at the Dallas Museum of Art, and I fell in love with it. It was like he was one of those artists that started out pretty traditional, and then he got off into doing the abstracts that he did. And then I moved on to, when I got out of school, I kind of looked at the Impressionistic painters, mostly French, and I fell in love with the brush work that they would do. The style that they produced was excellent to me, and gave me that kind of, and now I practice that more than anything, and some of my abstracts are kind of going that direction too. So that, and then I've been following this guy out of New York City. His name is Brian Rittenberg, and I'll tell you what, that guy he's been in New York City about 20 years, but he's doing abstract landscapes that are just, the colors are just awesome. And I'm like,
you're watching his work.
Yeah, I watch his stuff and kind of keep up with him, and he does these YouTube videos. And that brings me to another thing. I love YouTube videos. I mean, I can sit for hours watching YouTube videos of other artists doing things in their studio.
It's a training technique.
Oh, yeah.
And an opportunity to see how other people apply the paint or what inspires them.
Right.
And they take that visual and move it into a piece of art.
Yeah. And you know, the internet has been just to me,
exploded.
It's just and even when I'm trying to fix something at the house and I'm not sure how to do it, I go to YouTube, and next thing I know, I've got a guy that's doing it exactly what I want to do. So
and you sit there and watch him.
Nice.
It's a new masterpiece.
Nice.
That's how you fix that. Okay. So yeah, and it's just been an explosion, and I think it's just wonderful that we have that venue to do.
The other thing that many times I want to know from artists is where are you showing right now? Because you are showing here at Valarosa Designs and Gallery at 108 8th Street in the Burkeville Center, and we have 4 of your pieces.
I'm also at Gallery Main Street, which is downtown Tyler. They have a wonderful program there where the events are juried, and they'll run an exhibit for about 2 to 2.5 months. And I love the folks down there at the gallery.
Beverly. Good morning, Beverly.
And Amanda, too. They are such sweethearts. And then I also show at 211 Gallery in Athens, Texas, and I love all my friends over at 211. I help out a little bit when I can, and I want to give a shout out to all those great artists that are over there. They do a lot of local artists from the Athens market and around there.
And I think if we really talk about this, Brian, that's one of the reasons why we realized There is such a great connection, all different directions from the Tyler area, this hub.
Right.
And that's what we thought about, is reaching out to those different artists in our network. And so we want them to certainly contact you or me and start this network of artists. Through the years, you've won many awards. I'd like for you to talk about some of the awards that you've won.
Well, most of them I've forgotten and lost, but I do have some current stuff I did with Marilyn. Matter of fact, she won People's Choice at the Modern Icons exhibit downtown at the Gallery Main Street. And then I was Artist of the Month back with another group back in first part of last year, which it was also Marilyn again. That's why I was saying she kind of took a life of her own, and
she's still getting noticed.
She's still getting noticed, yeah. She is, she's crazy, but not too much other than that. But most of mine was back in the school days, and but when I left, was doing artwork all along, but I was making a living in sales. I was a paint salesperson for many years and retired, and that's what kind of, during that time period, I was just kind of doing hit and miss.
Tell me about the paint sales. Didn't you tell me that you worked for a local paint store here in Tyler?
I did for a short period of time, but my career was in Dallas more than anywhere. I started in Tyler, went to Dallas, and came back to Tyler.
Now, what was the name of the place here in Tyler?
Kelly Moore Paint Company. I worked there for a short period of time.
Okay.
And
then you went on to Dallas.
Well, DeVoe Paint Company, which was gobbled up by an outfit called ICI Paint, bought us out in 1990-something, I don't know, 6 or so.
You have hobbies.
Yes,
and
I do.
noticed the one interesting hobby that you have is stamps. You said, you told me the other day that you had an extensive collection of stamps. You've been collecting how long?
All my life.
All your life.
My dad was a collector, and he was the one that kind of started me. He would bring home stamps from the post office way back in the early 60s, so he was the catalyst on that too. I kind of carried it through, and my goal is to have a U.S. collection complete, which I finally accomplished that to a degree. The most stamps that I did were the ones that you could actually still afford, but I filled one up years ago and completed a U.S. collection.
Antique maps.
Yes.
How did you get into collecting
Cartography.
antique maps?
I just love maps. I was a map guy when I was drawing maps of our neighborhood when I was in grade school.
That's unusual.
So that you can find your way around our neighborhood. Brian had a map, so yeah. But
and so what, have you ever painted a map?
No, but I actually have thought about that. There are some pretty successful artists doing maps, and one in particular in Texas that I've seen his work, and is very detailed. But no, I haven't done that. I thought about doing it, but one thing that I really was the antique. I've got some that are 400 years old.
My goodness,
and just
Brian.
Awesome.
How do you display them, or do you just keep them rolled up? And
they're in a safe.
In a safe somewhere. Well, I can see why you would do that.
I'm thinking about doing that.
I could use the map here in Tyler. I've traveled around the world, but with all the changes in Tyler, I seem to get lost here. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Could you help me out?
God bless GPS.
Well, Cindy, when we come back, thank you, Brian, for all of that information. I want to see your maps one of these days.
Yeah.
When we come back, Cindy, we're going to talk about the April 7th event that's going to be held at Burkeville.
Yes.
I think that's something that the people would be interested in. And
it's a block party ready to happen.
It's going to be a block party.
Stay tuned.
I'm ready.
Your only local news radio, 97.5 KTBB FM.
You know, if your mattress is more than about 8 years old, you're going to be needing a new one pretty soon. Hi, Paul Gleiser here. Where you get it matters. Here's what I believe. The closer something comes to having a comma in the price, the closer to home you should buy it. For the simple reason that a locally owned business is more accountable. You know that if you've ever called a 1-800 customer service number and talked to somebody you couldn't understand. That's why if you need a new bed, I recommend the Serta Sleep Gallery at Don's TV and Appliance. The Serta Sleep Gallery at Don's is a showroom full of Serta iComfort sleep system models, Serta's most advanced ever. They're engineered for better support, and they dissipate heat so that you sleep at a more comfortable temperature. But here's the clincher. Unlike the chain mattress stores, Don's TV is locally owned. Their success can only come from taking better care of you. Don's TV and Appliance, your Get More store in Tyler on Broadway south of Grande Boulevard and online at donstv.com. Insurance is, at its best, almost completely invisible. Hi, this is Paul Gleiser. In a perfect world, the only involvement you would ever have with your commercial insurance would be renewing the coverage once a year and paying the premium. Otherwise, out of sight, out of mind, and happily so. Right up until that moment in a decidedly imperfect world when something happens. It's when you have a claim that you'll get up close and personal with your commercial insurance coverage. And it's when you'll learn a whole lot about who sold you the policy. Hibbs Hallmark & Company has built its reputation by taking exceptionally good care of customers when they have a claim. I know this from 20-plus years of personal experience. You don't ever want to file a claim, but chances are you will. And when that time comes, Hibbs Hallmark & Company claims management experts excel at taking the problem off your desk and taking care of it from theirs. Before you renew your commercial policies, take time to visit with Hibbs Hallmark & Company. They're online at hibbshallmark.com. Hibbs Hallmark & Company.
We have a saying in American Plumbing, you want to be able to choose when you replace your water heater, don't let your water heater choose.
That's Lori Townsend, Customer Service Manager at American Plumbing Company of Tyler.
Because that water heater may choose in the middle of the night, flooding your house, and it won't be pleasant.
Water heaters don't last forever. Don't wait to find out the hard way that yours needs to be replaced.
We're going to treat your home as if it were our own. We like to monitor the equipment out of our customers' homes, and if your water heater is 15 to 20 years old, that's a good time to start looking at replacing it. To protect your property, you don't want to have to deal with that kind of catastrophe or that stressful situation.
American Plumbing Company, serving all of East Texas for nearly 30 years. American Plumbing is fully insured and is an A-plus accredited business with the Better Business Bureau. Repairs, installation, and 24-hour emergency service. American Plumbing Company, online at apctyler.com. American Plumbing Company, license number M10861.
All right, keep it up, everybody.
As you know, WorkSafe Texas is a community devoted to safety and walking. Lots and lots of walking. We caught up to Ed Coates, a manager at Texas Mutual Insurance Company, to ask him why.
Well, this is one of our employee fitness groups. We get together to walk and exercise. It's how we stay healthy.
Healthy? But I thought WorkSafe Texas was about safety.
It is. Studies show that workers who have a healthy body weight have fewer accidents and miss fewer days of work.
So wellness is good for your workers' comp policyholder owners. But why are you out here?
Because we're residents of WorkSafe Texas, too. We believe in it. That's the reason we have on-site fitness centers, weight management classes, and walking programs. We know wellness leads to safety.
And safety leads to?
Dividends. We've paid $1.6 billion in dividends to companies who keep their workers safe. Those businesses are moving in the right direction.
A direction that leads to WorkSafe Texas. To get your people moving, go to WorksafeTexas.com. Dividends are based on performance and are not guaranteed.
Search KTBB in the App Store. It's free for iPhone and Android, thanks to Tyler Ford.
You're listening to Aaron Kinsey singing Ain't Gonna Settle for Anything Less. That's why we chose that for our theme song. This every one of our segments, we're going to do a community announcement of upcoming events that are art related, and I think will be very interesting for people to know about. The Dale Chihuly exhibition at the East Texas Museum of Art over on the TJC campus. I really encourage anyone who loves art to go by and see that. It is a tremendous exhibition, and I understand that they did one of his baskets back in 2001, but this time they have gathered up different collectors who have been collecting Chihuly's art from all over Texas and brought them together for the East Texas Museum. And there's several pieces there. They're absolutely beautiful, so go by. And I also want to give a shout out to my little great niece, Kelsey Bailey. She is a student at UT Tyler in the art department, and she works for the Tyler Museum of Art. She loves her job over there. Also, there was an advertisement a few minutes ago about Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. It's going to be at the Cowan Center on the UT campus Thursday night, March 10th, and so people would have an opportunity to go see that. It's a tremendous thing, and all of us love Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber's presentations, and their music is something that just sings in your head no matter how long it's been since you've heard it. So those two events are the things we want to feature this week. And Cindy, I want you and I to move forward and talk about the April 7th event, because we've been working on this quite a time, and we've turned it into an art walk also, where different artists are going to be featured in different businesses. And as an example, BrianStone, who is sitting at my left, is going to be our featured artist at Valorosa Designs and Gallery. And so then we know that there are different artists that are going to be in many of the others, and Tux and Prom is going to have a style show. So talk a little bit about things.
Well, April 7th is going to be a wonderful street party. We're closing down the streets, and we have entertainment. We have a lot of moving parts to this event. We are very excited about the art walk. When you come, you're going to be presented with a card and encouraged to go store by store, meet the artist, have a little signature. We're going to have drawings and raffles for you completing that walk and being introduced and seeing the different art. Of course, we're very excited about Erin Kinsey and her 5-man band coming in from Nashville. They will have just returned from their debut in London, and they're coming here to Tyler at the Bergfeld Center. Isn't that so exciting?
Yes, it is. In a tent, and a big deal. It's going to be a big deal.
It's going to be a big deal. So
I'm ready.
Ain't settling for nothing less. So with all of that, additionally, we're very honored to have Jacqueline Cavender. She has her new cookbook, and she's going to be there signing autographs, and so I know we'll have a long line of people with that. Larry Lott Interior specifically, we're going to be having the benefits of her in our store signing, and to come into the store, you'll either need to have a cookbook that you can purchase at Whole Health Cafe there at the Bergfeld Center, and or as you come through the door at Larry Lott, we're asking you to make a donation for Night of the Superstars. So this is all kind of layered in. Night of the Superstars, we're very honored to have the beautiful artwork from Karen Musgraves. She's been so gracious to donate one of her art pieces that will be auctioned off later in the year for Night of the Superstars that benefits children. So a lot of moving parts with what's going on, and we encourage everyone to come and take a part of it. We've planned a lot of activities, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
And we are closing off the street, so it truly is going to be a block party, and people can walk all the way across from business to business.
It is. I have a friend who's lived here in Tyler all of his life and never came to even the Christmas one, and finally appeared, and he says he'll never miss another one.
So that Christmas event was amazing.
It was fun.
It was so much fun. Now, different places are going to have refreshments, and so you can be able to go through.
Well, and Zodiac Vodka is even going to be a sponsor of the event, and so we've got a lot of fun going on.
And that is going to be inside of...
Well, we're going to have that with Larry Lott and then Whole Health Cafe, and then the Whole Health Cafe will actually be serving dishes and recipes from Jacqueline Cavender's cookbook.
Yes, from Jacqueline's cookbook.
You can sample some of that food there, and or it'll also be served at Larry Lott Interiors.
Yay.
So we're going to have a good time.
Up my alley.
And all the doors will be flown open because it's going to be beautiful weather. Now, it starts what time on the 7th? Now, the 7th is on what day?
It's a Thursday evening. So we'll be gathering around 5:30 to 8:30, and I'm sure it'll happen a little bit before and a little bit after, but right there is the main show of things.
Everyone, please put that on your calendar, because it's going to be a big deal, and it's going to be a fun event. You're going to go into all the different stores, get to meet new people. I want you to come into Valorosa, talk to Brian, see all the beautiful artwork that we have there. And we are right between Whole Foods, the Whole Cafe, and then we're right between RJ Jewelers, and then Larry Lott's just down from us. So on that side, and Carla with her Silver Lining Antiques is on the end. And so we have a lot of
be exciting.
Big doings going to be happening at Bergfeld.
Yes.
And one of the things I wanted to say, and we're right up against a hard break, We are glad to be here. We thank you if you were able to listen. And if you're an artist, please contact us at Valarosa Designs and Gallery, and we will be happy to talk with you about this new network that we are starting. Brian's going to be chairing that and making that move forward. So you'll hear from us later.
Thank you.
Cindy, would you like to say anything else? Would you like to say goodbye?
Well, I would just love everybody to please come to the Bergfeld Center. All of the merchants have got gift certificates for you. We want to meet you and see you in person, so we look forward to that, and thank you in advance.
Yes, and Brian, thank you for being here.
You're welcome. I enjoyed every minute of it. And again, remember, ACETnetwork.net is the website that you can go to and